Here is a guide to true shape nesting for print, and we'll be using DeepNest version 1.5.4 and Inkscape. So these are the shapes we want to prepare for nesting. So at the moment, if we view them in outline, a bit too complicated for DeepNest. We only require a cut path and an inside SVG, PNG actually, raster image. So let's set that up. So the easiest way to rasterize these graphics is just to highlight and press Alt-B. Now let's hide our cut path because we want to retain that as a vector graphic. So select all, Alt-B. That will change it to a bitmap. Select all, Alt-B. That will change it to a bitmap. Select all, Alt-B. Select all, Alt-B. Now bear in mind the default bitmap resolution is 96 dpi, or ppi if you prefer. Not quite enough for print, but for the purposes of this tutorial we'll stick with 96. So we still have all that vector information, so we need to discard that, we won't be needing it. So let's select those images we made which are sitting on top. They will be in the top of each of these. So shift, click that, click that, click that. And let's make a new layer. We'll just call that images. Now look at that, I just deselected. So select again, 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 again. Right click and move to layer and move it into your images layer. Now let's hide that as well. Let's select everything else. Delete. And let's delete these guys too, we don't need them. So all we should have is images and a cut path. If you view it in display mode, outline, you can see that we have something else we don't want, which is a clipping path. So let's go to path, or object, sorry, release clip. And we should be able to do that in one hit. Let's go, so release clip. And we want rid of that. We don't need that, because that would have come into DeepNest and we don't want it. But we do want your cutting path and the raster image. Right, and one other thing, our images do need to be separate. So let's go to extensions, images, extract, and extract them into the same folder you'll be saving your SVG. So go to the folder you're saving into, which is, in my case, this one. So my working folder. Now they're already here, so I'm going to delete all these, just for the purposes of this. Copy your path, paste it in there, it's already pasted. I'm going to hit apply. And here we are. So that's the images I require. One other thing, I've found that even when I delete everything, there's still information in this document somewhere, and I just cannot get rid of it. So the easiest way is just to copy what you want, create a completely new document, paste in there, scale your page up to fit everything, save as, in your working folder, drawing SVG, that's fine. Now over to DeepNest, import your drawing, there we are. Okay, let's make some quantities, so say we want 8 of those, 10 of those, 5 of those, and yeah, 7 of those. Let's make a standard sheet size, so 2400 by 1200. Put that in there. Let's just leave it at 1. And I'm assuming they will all fit on one sheet. Let's try. So let's start that nest. Yep, that's fine. Let's fill it out a bit more actually. So let's stop that nest. We'll go back. Let's make that 40, 20, 30, 5. Let's do another nest. Okay. You can let it iterate for a while, but I'm happy with that. Let's stop the nest. And let's export that as an SVG file. We'll call it nested. Save that. Let's go back to Inkscape and we will open that. Now, you will notice an obvious problem here as soon as I open it. Get ready. And every single image is missing. Okay, don't panic. Here's the workaround. Now, because all our images are in the same folder as the SVG, let's just open it with edit it in Notepad++. You'll see the first link has a long link here, and for some reason this is not working, but you don't need it. Let's highlight that. Let's find all versions of that. So we'll find that path and we'll replace it with absolutely nothing because all we need is the name of the image, which is that, it's the PNG. Let's replace all, close that, save it, back to the nested PNG, open it with Inkscape, and it's fixed. Now, the only thing left to do is separate your cut path from your raster path and put some dots on. Now, a couple of steps, but let's, first of all, let's select our path and we will select the same stroke color. And let's group those together. And let's move that group out of there. Let's just move that up to the top. And we're also going to need some fiducial dots for your registration. So normally your sheet size would be 1220 by 2440. So let's make that 2440 by 1220. Let's create another layer for our dots. Call it dots. And we will open a file. I believe I have a folder called registration fiducials. Okay, so here's our registration dots, or fiducials as some people call them. Let's copy that. Go back to our nested layout. And let's make a new layer for our rego dots. Let's paste it in there. Doesn't need much alignment. Let's just move it into center and center. Let's lock that up so we can move our artwork. Let's just move so it's not interfering with any dots. Looks pretty good. I mean, you could ungroup that and bring those dots a bit closer in, I suppose, if you wanted to save some sheet. So put a bit there. Okay, so we're pretty much set up. All we need to do now is save two separate files. So we have an artwork layer, which you can save as a PDF. So you know how to do that. Just I know there's PDF in here somewhere. There it is, PDF. So that can be your print PDF. I'll just cancel out that, and then the other one would be your cut PDF or DXF or whatever your CNC machine uses. But that's pretty much it.